everyone, welcome to the Bookshelf Odysseys YouTube channel. My name is Art, and welcome to Chapter 3, in which I do a book haul. I'm really excited to be doing this because book hauls are some of my favorite booktube videos to watch. I always add to my TBR list because of them. So I got a few here I'm going to show you today, and you might find interesting. First of all, where did I go to get these? I got these books from a bookstore in Sioux City, Iowa. But we were looking around town. We had some time to kill, and I found that there was an independently owned bookstore in Sioux City, and they're called The Book People. This video is not sponsored by them. I'm just a fan of independent bookstores, and I wanted to just give them a shout out if you are in or near the Sioux City, Iowa area. First of all, I'm sorry. But secondly, go to the Book People, check them out online, help support a local bookstore. Really wonderful lady who was working there. And, have you ever walked into a bookstore and thought, okay, I'm just going to get one? Because I usually like to try to buy them, used, they're cheaper, all that. It was a new bookstore. We just went a little crazy, and that's fine. We seldom do that, but it was great, and to be able to help support an independent bookstore. So let me show you what I got here. One book, which actually did not come from them. It was from a Barnes & Noble. So sorry, I had to make up for it at the other place. But this one is called Leave Only Footprints. And it's written by a man who went through every national park in the United States. It says, my Acadia to Zion journey through every national park. And this is right, and this is the kind of nonfiction I've really been enjoying lately, where somebody goes out and explores nature and writes about it, or hikes, or journals their hiking experience or their camping experience. They're thinking through huge life decisions, and they're doing it in nature. I love a book like that, and because I just love the beauty of nature. It is something that refreshes me. It is something that compels me to go out, to explore, to relax, to refresh myself. It's a wonderful experience. So I got Leave Only Footprints by Connor Knighton. Connor Knighton. Knighton, yeah. One of these days I'm going to learn how to, pronounce names, but might not be today. Next is a book that's on my TBR. I think I've heard some people on BookTube talking about it, is where I got this. I heard about this book from, and it's called The Reading List by Sarah Nisha Adams. And this book sounded really good, really in my wheelhouse. Just a little bit about what it's about. This anxious teenager who's working at the local library, she discovers a forgotten slip of paper in the back of To Kill a Mockingbird, and it's a list of novels she's never read or heard of before. And so intrigued, she impulsively decides to read every book on the list, one after the other. As each story gives up its magic, the book transports Alicia away from the painful realities she's facing at home. And along the way, she meets an older man who's looking to connect with his bookworm granddaughter named Mukesh. And it sounds like they form a friendship around books. I don't know anything about her. I've never read anything by her. And so usually I try not to buy a book if I'm unsure. But this hits every one of my wheelhouse of things I love in a story. So I can't imagine not liking it unless she's a really, really bad writer. But everyone who's read it has loved it. So I kind of took a gamble on this, decided to try it out. So that's The Reading List by Sarah Nisha Adams. Next is one I know I'll like, and it's The Madness of Crowds by Louise Penny. It's the newest in the Inspector Gamache series up at Three Pines. If you've read her books, you know what a delight they are, what a fascinating mystery experience it is. I would love to live in Three Pines, except I'd probably be murdered. So, there's that. But this is one of my favorite series of all time. Louise Penny just continues to blow me away book after book. I keep thinking, there's no way the next one is going to be better than the last one I read. And for almost all, but I think maybe one or two, that's been my experience, that they just keep getting better. She's a phenomenal, phenomenal writer. And I'm very excited because I just heard that they're filming a Inspector Gamache series right now with Alfred Molina to star as Inspector Gamache, and I think that's really good casting. I think he's gonna hit it out of the park. If the writing's there, if the directing is good, this is gonna be a good series to watch too. But if you like mysteries, the newest in the Inspector Gamache series. I'm not going to read what it's about yet because I'm about a book or two behind yet, so I don't want any spoilers of things. But if you're a fan of hers, you know the series, you know what this book is about. So I got this one. Can't wait to read it. Another one I got that I'm pretty sure I'm going to like is called The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I have read some of his young adult novels. Actually, I've read a couple of his adult novels too. He's got a couple of Christmas books that are need to be on your Christmas TBR list. It's called A Boy Named Christmas, and then the sequel, The Girl Who Saved Christmas, and then there's a third one in the series. I think it's called Father Christmas and Me. Those are just phenomenal young adult novels, children's novels, whatever you want to call them. I liked them. I read them, and I'm 40 something years old, and they were just so charming. Put me in the Christmas mood for sure. So then I started reading some of his other books, and he's just a phenomenal writer. But Matt Haig, this is one of his newer books, The Midnight Library. The book blurb here just caught me. It says, "Between life and death, there is a library." Up until now, Nora Seed's life has been full of misery and regret. She feels she has let everyone down, including herself, but things are about to change. When she finds herself in the Midnight Library, she has a chance to make things right. And that's all I'll read. I know it doesn't give us a whole lot, but again, I like to avoid spoilers. But that opening description is amazing. Between life and death, there is a library. Wouldn't that be wonderful that when we finish our time here on Earth, that into the afterlife you go and you find out it's a giant library. Yep, sign me up. Sign me up. And then the last book I got from the bookstore is called The Mystery of Charles Dickens. It's a nonfiction book by A.N. Wilson. And I almost didn't get this one. I don't have it yet. You remember my first video, you saw all the Charles Dickens books behind me. But I decided to just go ahead and grab it. And this one, it looks like it's examining some of the contradictions and some of the mystery around Dickens, especially looking at uncovering some of the double standards of both the man and his times. And I don't necessarily like to read biographies where they tear the person apart for the whole book. Granted, some people deserve it. I'm not sure Dickens is one of them. Yeah, he was ornery. He was awful to his wife at times. I've often said it's unfortunate that he couldn't show his wife especially, that same compassion that he championed for children and orphans and all those people in need. But that's a pretty complicated subject. But I thought I'd go ahead and read it because there are some contradictions in his life. There are some mysteries in his life that I think will give us a fuller picture of who he is, warts and all. But hopefully it's done in a way that's not just, I'm just out to dismantle and trash this person because I can, but hopefully it's a good and fair treatment of that subject. It'll probably be a while before I get to this one. I've got several other of books about Dickens I want to get to, but that one was intriguing, and I thought it would make a nice addition to my Dickens collection. So those are the books I bought at the Book People bookstore. And if you have a book haul, or do you have a favorite local bookstore you like to go to? Where we live, there is a drought of bookstores. We can't. I mean, to get to the closest bookstore is like a Half Price Books or Barnes and Noble, which is about an hour away from us. So we don't get to go to one as often as I would like. There's a couple of independent used bookstores in the big city near us, but again, that's an hour drive away. We live out in the country. So it's hard for us to get out there. So I do a lot of ordering online. But so I love when I get the chance to be able to go into a bookstore, especially to help support an independent, locally owned bookstore. It's good. So I hope you are able to do the same. And so let me know if you have a favorite bookstore. It's always fun to hear about some new bookstores and places we might go and visit someday. So let me know if you have a favorite bookstore and what your experiences there have been. And let's give a shout out to those folks who are doing good work and getting books into the hands of people. So thank you for watching this book haul, and I'll see you in the next video. In the meantime, just keep reading.